Right. We are on session 23 of Ultraviolet Grasslands. And we are leaving the Behemoth shell, I believe. Heading back to the Serai with a lot of bodies in tow. Wishes from last time. Get back on the road. Check in with Mook and Basil and Anise. Um, Oh, that's a note for me. Detail that contract. Um, and yeah, figure out advances. I think Newt was looking at some new stuff. Is that right?
Think Newt
Yeah,
wanted
I
to check.
increased my oblique reality stat skill and gave myself an extra point of endurance because I felt like, considering how hard I partied last session, I feel like Newt probably needs endurance.
Yeah, fair,
And,
fair.
and how in debt were you to the like how much gold did you end up having to spend on that?
500 gold. And I'm just in debt technically to Adoron, I think.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Cool,
that's
cool,
right.
cool.
Adoron, put it up.
Although Adoron doesn't really understand debt, and he will try to pay them back at some point.
Adoron now understands that because Adoron doesn't understand interest, although, but Adoron is actually a merchant level one at this point because
Oh
Phaedred
yeah,
taught him
you
or
got
taught
it
him
down.
was Adoron's the day.
At what level will you understand interest? Merchant
Well,
level
the
two?
whole idea of the planting seeds and growing, that sort of made sense to Adoron. The thing about Adoron is that they are not trying to gain advantage over others. So interest sort of is a concept that Adoron's not very um, attracted to.
I also have a really nice hat now that I added to my character sheet.
Right.
You did get that hat. Um,
The only the only thing I did was I sunk some experience points into my signature item,
yes.
which is the Black City Interface Gauntlet. Um, so the gauntlet now has a skill.
Ooh, what's that?
Ooh,
What's our skill?
The gauntlet has Magitech Systems as a skill.
Ooh,
that makes sense.
I love it.
And I'm thinking that if it does get to second level, probably going to give it like I'm probably going to give it like noospheric sense or something like that.
Hmm.
Awesome. So we are. Anything else from last session y'all want to recap or bring up?
Um, I'm still working on. I figured out some potential traits to give the teacup, but I think I need to do a little bit more work to get it ready. So I'm probably at the moment going to operate it without any mechanical difference.
Cool. Awesome. So it looks like we are traveling east to Fallen Umber. Does that sound right?
Hmm.
Yes.
Cool. So that will put us at will be old second week. And let's go through the procedure. We're traveling this week. Go ahead and spend supplies for yourselves and your NPCs and all of your your zombie farm, I guess.
Okay. So we bought supplies for our all of the zombies.
Mhm.
So they're each carrying 2 sacks of supplies. So they're gonna they're gonna each consume 1 sack of their supplies. So
Yeah.
let's see. What do we have here? We've got one, two, three, four, five, six. We got eight. We got four PCs and four NPCs
Yeah,
now, correct?
yeah. And those should be
Okay.
auto
So that's
totaled
going to
out in the sheet
be
there for
got it. So that's going to be eight. So it's now going to cost 8 sacks of supplies.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I did pay for everything for 4 weeks. So for all the zombies and all the NPCs.
Yeah.
So they should already be paid for.
Cool.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah,
Uh,
I remember that from last time.
Yeah,
I
I'm
remember
almost
that from last
broke.
time. So I yeah, I remember that from last time. So I didn't I didn't dip into our caravan funds. Our caravan funds
Yeah.
are actually starting to get on the low side, so we should
Mhm.
probably do some trading.
I know. Yeah, I think Mark just said it. I know Adocar and my beetle horse both forage.
They both forage.
They forage, so they don't
Don't
need.
worry
Yeah,
about
And I'm assuming the same thing for my toad.
Yeah, yeah. Animals and pack animals and toads. All foragers, all foragers.
Oh,
Um,
and are they all automatically foragers?
yeah, yeah, because they just kind of unless
Because I
like,
know I took
bad
specifically.
weather or something.
I took skilled forager as a skill for my beetle
Right,
horse.
but
Yeah,
that allows you to forage more stuff.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
not just enough to
Okay.
survive on.
Yeah, it makes sense.
yeah.
So he might like could that mean could maybe enough for me and the horse?
Well, I don't. If you want to eat what the beetle eats,
No,
I
I don't want to do that.
It just figures that skill should come in should bring some advantage to having.
Well, that's for when you're like it's helping you find food when you're actually going out foraging, right?
yeah,
Oh,
active
yeah.
foraging. I mean, it's possible Adocar would share meat with you.
Well, it's probably pretty raw.
Rancid hamster.
Yeah,
Not necessarily rancid. I mean, Adocar probably prefers fresh meat.
Oh,
He's a
sure.
bear. He's not a.
it's not
I
a
mean, he can always
monster.
get it.
Cool. Who would like to roll misfortune? Oh, and make sure you take your hero dice.
Oh, yeah.
2 up to your level.
2
Yeah.
hero dice. I'm up to
I used a
3.
lot of hero dice last time.
Yeah, I'm up to
Good.
3 hero dice.
Both of you got them. Yeah. So who is rolling our misfortune?
Man, I don't think I've gotten to try.
I'll go ahead and do it since nobody else is volunteering.
No, I was about to say.
Wait, why is Phaedred going up to 3 if you go up to your level?
Oh, you go
get,
to
you get 2 up to your level.
Plus
So-
2 up
Okay.
to your level.
half as your
Yeah.
level.
So I was at 1, so I'm taking
see,
2
I
more,
see.
so that brings me up to 3.
Yep.
I was gonna
So
say,
you're gonna do it, Heath?
yeah, well, I could try Bashika's new danger sense.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Gets to add a die to my
Okay.
roll.
Yeah, I get it.
So I don't think I've got to use that.
The
Since I-
D20 plus D6, right?
Yeah, and that's 12 total.
12 total. Great. I think that means you are good. Let me see. Yeah, it is. So so Fallen Umber is the remains of a great society that was there long lost ago. Once used to be mostly like chitin farming.
Yeah.
And there's ruins of old houses and we had like a villa or something last time you all stayed in.
Yeah. We stayed in an abandoned villa last time.
We also
Like-
talked to a lot of ghosts.
Yeah, lots of ghosts. We paste a little picture for you here in chat from the book. So kind of those vibes. Yeah, it is the hottest month of the year. It is super dry, super dusty, and yeah, really uncannily quiet here. This land is. Let me go ahead and roll for some encounter.
Shuffling zombie feet.
Yeah, you don't run into any any radiation ghosts or something here this time. Let's see.
That's good.
Oh, great. Cool. What do we have here? Of course. Yeah, so what does the like this you're on your way back here. What does the trail that you came down here look like through this kind of like flat, dull land?
I am imagining that it's it's like a track through the grasslands. It's like the grass is, I mean, it's late in the season now, so I'm imagining that most of the grass in the grassland is probably like, at least like shoulder high most places, but but we are following a trail.
Yeah, the
So
start of
it's
August. Yeah.
it's like and yeah, I imagine the grass is probably pretty dry now. It's I don't know what color the grass in the ultraviolet grasslands is, or if it's a color we can actually perceive. Um, but it's probably drying out. Um, so if it were grass, it'd be kind of like yellow brown at this point.
There's a lot of a lot of fungal stuff in this part of this area.
Okay, got it.
Very very.
And but yeah, I imagine there's like a track that when the wetter season it was pretty muddy.
Mhm.
It's really dust. I imagine it's like rutted and I imagine it's rutted and dusty. And if it's this hot, it's probably a little on the treacherous side, just because if there were ruts in the mud and then the mud dried, those ruts are still there. So we're perhaps trying to steer our wagons and keep our wagons in the ruts just so that it doesn't shift and break our break a wheel or something like that. And we have a motley assortment of pack animals now.
Yeah. Fortunately, you've been this way before, and it is this is a traveled path. So as long as you stick to the traveled path, there shouldn't be any big problems. You do see, so there are a lot of old, like way before old ruined like chitin plantations and whatnot. Um, this time, along the side of the path, you actually catch sight of. It's not too far off. It's like within hollering distance. It looks like there is a small farm that is actually active, and it is difficult to tell. Like, so it may be a dozen or so farmers working out there. I think as you approach to where it is small, not only in number, but you realize that it is not as far away as you thought it was because the farmers are not humans. It's like a small like patch, not a meadow, but a what do you call a fungal outgrowth, I guess, area of like these like the puffball mushrooms. They're like the kind of like soccer ball sized, and they are being harvested by what look like kind of like half rabbit, half pigs. They're walking on their hind legs, and they seem to be, you know, participating in agriculture. They're not just like rooting around. Like these are kind of cultivated mushroom fields. And when you pass by within earshot, they have big ears, and they like wave to you, they're travelers.
Okay, we'll wave back. I will confer with our other group here. Do we want to talk with them? See if they want to, I don't know, see if they want to trade anything? See if they have anything to trade?
Maybe they want to learn how to farm beans.
You may have trouble getting beans to grow out here, but it's always worth a shot.
All you got to do is, you just got to modify the beans.
Yeah.
There'll be special beans that flourish here. They'll be their own unique flavor.
Yeah. Little fungus beans. How do you approach?
I'm always pleasant, so I guess it's always good.
I mean, I'm happy to go with you, Modan, if we want to take your
bean sampler,
your mobile bean bean farm.
Yeah.
Kind of a mobile farmer.
Yeah.
Well.
They're relatively like as much as you can tell rabbit pig body language, like they're fairly open and like curious as you approach. I think a couple of them kind of hop towards you like before you reach the puffball field, and they do make these kind of like honking sounds. It doesn't seem like they're capable of speech. But they do seem like curious at what's going on.
Are they speaking? Are these like weird honking sounds? Is this a language?
It could be. You, even with your Rosetta, like this is not a human language.
Okay. I am skilled in languages. Can I attempt to communicate with them?
Yeah, you definitely can. Let's give a thought plus your languages.
Not plus language. Okay, I'm skilled at languages. So that's 3. So I'm gonna roll at +2. I'm gonna roll at +5. Let's see what we get. Roll an 18 on the dice.
Yeah.
+5 is a 23.
That will do it. That will absolutely do it.
You're good at honking.
Yeah, so you are able to kind of mimic their honks and kind of build a rapport over, an hour or two of this. They like basically they are just farmers here. They kind of gesture past their fields a little bit, and you can see where they've started to like start building like crude like straw and stick shelters. It seems like they are just kind of starting out.
So one of the rabbit pigs built their house of straw, and the other one built their house of sticks.
Yeah, they're still working on the bricks.
Where are they from?
They are from here. Like as best as you can tell, they are from here. I think this is closer to the behemoth shell. They seem to be kind of like semi uplifted pig rabbit hybrids. Maybe they're just they probably don't live more than a few years, right? Maybe a decade at the outside. Basically what you can tell is they are from here. They don't really have a concept of like names of places and stuff.
Were there
making
pig rabbits living at the shell the last time you passed through? I say to the others.
Possible? I don't know. I don't think we've encountered these sort of creatures before, but they seem friendly.
And they do. If Modan is talking about the beans, like they're like, yeah, let's see what you got.
I'm kind of thinking now. You said they are farming like you said, like puffball mushrooms.
Yeah, like puffball mushrooms. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're like about soccer ball size. They're kind of solid through.
Maybe
they're actually really tasty.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking maybe like I wonder if maybe I can trade some beans for some mushrooms in hopes that maybe I can crossbreed like a puffball bean shroom.
Yeah, they would be they would definitely be into that. They'll make a fair trade of beans for mushrooms, and they're excited to try and see. They snuffle around on them. They're like, it's not something they've eaten before, and they love it.
So Alba Negra comes up to Modan, and she just sort of stands a little bit too close, and she's like, could I get a sample? And then she just sort of like turns around and settles off.
Absolutely. That's kind of give nice little few bites of each of the different varieties I have in the sampler. Find them.
And she's like, comes back. Can I get some of those mushrooms too?
Yeah, sure. I just need enough to do the crossbreeding. I need all of them.
I was going to say, is there? I mean, do they have enough that they? I mean, do these guys have? I mean, are they willing to like trade mushroom? I mean, are they willing to buy mushrooms or sell mushrooms or
money per se? Like they have like their sticks and their mushrooms. That's about it for right now. Maybe
okay.
Generations they might develop the concept of money.
Got it. Okay, so they don't really understand the concept of money. Got it. So they're probably not going to want to trade mushrooms for any of the stuff for any of our trade goods that we've got. And even if they did, I'm sure it wouldn't be a great. It probably wouldn't be a great trade.
So
probably.
What is Alba's estimation of the value of these mushrooms? Are they just common?
Supplies? Yeah, basically like supply value.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, puffballs are like dirt common. You could definitely. This is what you would be eating if you would be foraging here.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think they're necessarily going to be particularly interested in trading any of our trade goods. And if they aren't interested in money per se, I don't think we would necessarily want to buy more supplies from these guys because we've got enough to get to the Serai.
Yeah.
forget it's always I remember in the first edition it was always a good idea to ask locals if there was anything interesting in the surrounding area.
Yeah.
Do we want to ask them about that?
We certainly could. Yeah, we certainly could to see if there's more points of interest that we don't already know about around here.
Yeah, definitely.
I will do that.
Yeah, so that'll cost us a day, which I believe is going to put us into an extra week, right?
Ooh, okay.
Then maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, except that we can probably get some supplies.
That's
They're
true. I mean,
Oh, right.
if they've got if they've got anything that they're willing to, I mean, if they would accept money in trade, we could certainly buy supplies from them.
Yeah, I don't think they would know what to do with money.
Adoron is going to bring out the teacup, and Adoron is going to sit with them and have a giant tea party.
Nice. Fantastic.
I was just gonna say we do have like one sack of nice fabric, which is worth 100. Could we conceivably trade that for some number of sacks of supplies from these guys?
Yeah, I mean, again, they don't really have a strong concept of value, so they would be like, yeah, sure, take equal sacks of mushrooms for the
equal
nope.
sacks. Oh, okay, yeah.
Probably wouldn't be a great deal. Yeah,
that wouldn't be a great deal then. Okay.
Adoron's going to teach them how to make soup.
Nice.
And Adoron's going to show them how to use, since Adoron is now a basic herbalist, they're going to wander the area, find some herbs that will make the soup flavorful, and then they will teach them how to make mushroom soup as a variation on their diet.
Nice.
And then trade that and hopefully for some sample. It sounds like there might be just wild mushrooms wandering around too.
Yeah, I mean, you can forage all sorts of mushrooms here. I also think like they don't have the capacity to make fire yet.
Okay.
Not really there.
So Adoron will teach them cold soup.
Yeah. Little mushroom gazpacho.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're excited by that. That's totally doable.
So it seems like they're okay. So it does seem like they're not terribly sophisticated.
Yeah. It's probably not a great economic point, but they're buds now. So if you want to have trouble, did you want to spend that day to find a discovery?
Yeah, because it sounds like we can forage our own. Like so, Phaedred,
I'm just a little worried about spending a whole lot of time to forage because we've got all these we've got all these Ba zombies to feed.
Yeah, actually, it turns out they're Ka zombies, not Ba.
They're Ka zombies. Excuse me.
I looked it up.
Yep.
Okay, got it. We've got all these Ka zombies to feed, and they're already going to be like a week hungry by the time we get to the Serai. So
right, but there are a ton of mushrooms available. So why don't you talk to the rabbit pigs about what else is in the area, and Ottokar and
we could send her in
and stuff will just take care of foraging a bunch of mushrooms, or maybe Ottokar should come with you and anyway, we'll take care of getting a bunch of mushrooms foraged because this seems very easy to do.
So to be clear, are you spending the week foraging?
No.
Or
we're just trying to compensate for one day.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, if we do, okay, cool.
So this one day is gonna.
This one day is gonna kick us over into another week. So it's gonna mean it's what we were planning on a 3-week journey is gonna push it into a 4-week journey. Unless we take more time, unless we take another week out to go foraging, then it's gonna turn into a 5-week journey. I'm thinking we should probably, again, since we're kind of pressed for time and supplies with all these zombies, I'm thinking maybe we should just press on.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you at least ask them what's interesting around here?
They're not going to be able to tell you much without spending the time. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, maybe we'll do this on the way back or something.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
This is around where we found the steal of the language.
Yep.
We
found. Yeah, this is where we found. Yeah, this is where we found the Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, and it's like 5 days off the trail, so you don't want to.
We don't want to take the time to do that either.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like that. Great. So we did that. Did encounters. What's next up? Encounters. We didn't do any fighting or running, so if anyone needs to do resting, you can recover all your missing life. We'll all have one stat completely, or remove a burden that is appropriate to remove via rest. If anyone needs to do that, I don't see
Nope,
it.
I was pretty much at full. If anyone was down, on life, they could certainly heal up.
Yeah, it looked like Newt was down on life.
Cool. Yeah. So,
Oh, because I leveled up, does that automatically go up
oh
when
yeah,
I
Oh yeah,
level up?
the
yeah.
top up when you, yeah,
Okay.
It automatically goes up when you level.
yeah. And we've been saying like when you level up, it's like video game, it like goes to top,
Right.
it goes to
Okay.
full when you level up. So it's a cheap heal if you're there.
All right.
Well, it really makes sense, you know, because you think about it, it doesn't make sense. Like, I've gained knowledge. Suddenly, but I'm feeling not as good. I'm a little injured.
um, this is a week's travel, so you can do traveling actions. You can do more foraging. You can do studying on the road. Um, anything that would
Well,
a week
I
here.
mean, I guess we could. I mean, I guess we could do some foraging if that's basically a free action.
Yeah, yeah, and you're technically going to be at a destination. You're going to be at Fallen Ember. So if you do want to spend this time looking for discoveries around here, that's your first one's free.
Why don't we do that?
Would you like to do that?
Yeah, I'll do looking for discoveries. See if there's anything new here to find.
Great. Roll me a d20 and add. What are we looking at? Give me your thought. I think. Yeah.
D20 and thought. Okay.
Don't go looking for love in all the wrong
I got a
places.
10.
A 10. Is that with or without?
That's adjusted to a 10.
Yeah. And I think probably what that looks like is, you're just there are rumors of the things that are around from both your your new buddies and people you meet on the road. So like, oh yeah, we heard there was a giant autofac out here. We heard there was this or whatever, but no one really has any
Got it.
ideas of like which way to go because everyone else is
Or the
Yeah.
the only real concrete info we found was the stuff that we already knew about.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's high summer. Everyone's just trying to get through the heat. No one's no one on the road is really interested in digging around with
Got it.
the road right now.
Alrighty.
Cool. Do we want to hustle on to the next? So
I guess while we're also doing, I will study because I got these things that I have rainbow grenades question mark written next to
yes.
them.
Yeah.
I guess I will study those to figure out what I actually have.
Fantastic.
So that I'm not like throwing healing grenades at like people.
I think we can a cursory examination tells you they are not healing grenades for sure. They
Okay.
seem to be exploding. Do you want to like study a skill
Study a
related
new skill.
to that? Like
Okay.
like exotic weaponry or
Yeah. I was thinking of what that skill would look like. Exotic weaponry makes sense.
yeah, let's do that then. So go ahead and give me a roll plus thought.
Okay.
We are looking for a 12.
All right. Let me bring up the dice roller.
It's on the info tab if you were looking for it.
Yeah. That's an 18.
Nice.
That will definitely
Nice.
do it. So go ahead and put exotic weaponry 1/3. So you need 2 more study sessions basically to make that a real skill. But yeah,
Right.
check it
Okay.
out. Your first one is like that they're like a little bit more difficult to get as you go along. But yeah, just I think examining these grenades and
And going like, oh, healing grenades aren't a thing.
yeah, bits and pieces from the party. You probably come back when they told you about it, like, oh yeah, right. So you're on your way to being an exotic weapons connoisseur. Great. Let's so Fallen Number is that place that you were at. That's where you stayed last time. Would you like to just progress on to the Waystone?
I think that was the plan. Did anyone else have like camp actions that they wanted to do?
Yeah, so Modan, Alba Negra can help you with your bean
Oh, yeah.
biomancy because
Yeah,
she's a
I'm definitely
botanist.
Studying.
I'm trying to see if we can make a crossbreeded puff
Yep.
bean shroom.
Yeah. You want to go ahead
Maybe
and
all the rage.
study, it sounds like it'd be like what's the word for like
Hybridization, but
yeah, there's a word that's tickling my brain. I can't think of what it is, but
yeah.
yeah, if you have a good description of it, let's go ahead and study it.
Well, and Modan was specifically trying to study bean biomancy
Yeah, Beanomancy.
or
Okay,
bean
yeah.
botany.
So you want to try and study your first level of Beanomancy?
Yeah, that works.
Go
Sure.
for
Well,
it.
for the next, you got a new mentor.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I'm would what am I rolling? Would my
This is
guessing my
D20
legume
plus
farmer?
thoughts.
Oh, so my legume farmer would not
No,
factor in that.
that's just horticulture. This is science.
Yeah.
Plus 2, D20 plus 2 is that's not gonna do it.
What do we get?
Yeah.
So I got
Ooh, roll a one.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh, that's bad when you study.
yeah.
That's bad when you study.
So go ahead and put down Beanomancer 0 out of 4.
Ooh.
He was already at 1. So did it go down?
No, I didn't have any in.
Yeah, you
I
didn't-
didn't have any. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong character. Never mind.
Yeah, sorry.
Unless you want to spend a hero die.
Unless you want to spend a hero die. Yep.
I might as well. I mean, because otherwise, what? I mean, what is the result of a 1 trying to learn things?
That means you've like gone down some dead ends. You've like tried a bunch of stuff that did not work, but not in the good way. Mechanically, it adds an extra success to you.
Oh, as extra success. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll, especially since she's helping. It makes sense to spin a hero die like.
Yeah,
Maybe she corrects. I was going down a real dead end road, and she's like, I don't think that's the way to do this.
Yeah, so you need a 4 to just learn nothing.
So hero die. So I rolled.
So 50-50 shot.
Plus my thought it was a 3 total, but it was still a 1.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So you should be good.
There you go.
Yeah. So you're 0 out of 3. You start going down the wrong way. She's like, no. This is not farming.
That will never work.
You're gonna
Come up with a really
do the
horrible.
wrong thing there.
You're about to crossbreed the worst aspects of mushrooms and beans into one really super foul mush bean.
Just poison farts. Yeah. Great. Let's get on the road to the Waystone then. We are gonna need to go ahead and spend supplies.
Let me do that. Spending supplies. So okay, that's another 8. So
And we'll need someone new to roll misfortunes.
I can roll.
Good.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, did somebody else do it?
No, you do it.
Okay, it's
victorious from
20, right?
misfortune.
It's a 14.
That's not bad.
14. Fantastic. Yeah, so we are entering the Waystone graveyard. This is I'm sure that Newt came across it on the way down, but it is a massive green obelisk surrounded by rusted machinery. It's all been picked over, and there's like rust dust storms all over the place. From coming through here on the way down, you kind of need to like wrap yourself up with scarves and put goggles on, and when there are kind of dust ups of the rust, sharp bits and pieces can get caught up. So you know enough to guard against those. And
is this where we found that like weird gate?
Yep.
yeah, this is so the Waystone is Phaedred did some magic, and it turns out that it is a gateway that you can enter if you leave your body behind.
So we also left is the little camp that Adoron set up still here?
It is probably well picked over at this point.
Okay, well, I set it up for travelers,
Yeah.
so it's just a space.
Yeah.
Because we left a tent and stuff like that, a shelter.
Yeah.
The other thing is Adoron is now a holy diver. So
Oh,
Adoron has
damn.
to go up to the tower and spend a life to see where this goes.
Ooh. Let me take a look at Holy Diver again. The tiger. Where are we? Holy Diver.
I'd say is that the sort of thing we might want to do on the way back?
No. I just spend a life to see where this goes.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
actually have to go diving yet.
Holy Diver, yeah. Spend life with like the 380. So you already know where it leads.
No, we don't.
You are welcome.
Did we?
I thought so, didn't you?
No,
No,
you didn't tell us
no.
the end
Oh,
point.
well, damn, yeah. Go ahead and spend the life then.
Okay.
Let me.
I mean, yeah, when Phaedred went in, the only way to we concluded that the only way for Phaedred to figure out what it was, where it led to, was to follow the path.
Yeah.
And we didn't know how long it was going to take him. It could be days, it could have been weeks.
That's right. That's right. I wrote down where it went though. Great. Yeah. So it is a Dullway. Let's see, let me write this down here. And you can kind of so what does it look like when this is from the monolith skill, the rebuilder monolith, right?
No, actually this is from
Phaedred's
Dreams.
Yeah. Oh, that monolith, right? So many monoliths.
I know.
So what does it look like when you're doing the diving into the portal?
So I'm assuming Adoron's body stays outside, and Adoron basically just set up against the monolith and was drinking tea until they sort of slumped down, and because tea is in everything, and from the outside it just looks like Adoron fell asleep. From the inside, of course, you described it as Adoron would find it very interesting. It sounds like it's very colorful. And Adoron's body since this is Adoron's first
real dive.
Because Apate taught Adoron how to do it, and Adoron's probably done a little bit of practicing in local noospheric space, but not that. So at first, Adoron's body just is all over the place, especially since Adoron's a shapeshifter and doesn't really have the greatest sense of body anyway. And eventually, Adoron realizes that they have some control over their body. So Phaedred might notice this, that inside the tower, there's a little bit of a glow, and Adoron turns into a flower. This just seems like fun. So you have a flower floating around, and Adoron releases a little bit of pollen and watches it, float into the wind, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and it floats westward mostly. Clearly, I guess not clearly. It floats mostly westward, a little bit to the north. And you can kind of as you're doing your diving, the it's not really seeing it as a path necessarily, but there's kind of like an echo of a path, I guess, leading off to the west. And the sensation you get from it is this just kind of iridescent, kind of like the sheen on the top of a oil on water kind of thing.
Right.
And it's like an iridescent forest. If you everyone is familiar with the map, because someone has an actual copy of the map. This portal goes to the refracting trees. Station 22.
Ooh.
Okay.
And so this is a Dullway as we suspected, which means that it is the travel there through the portal takes just as long as it does in the real world, only there's nothing interesting.
Sometimes that's helpful.
Yeah, so it's probably about a 2.5 month journey
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 weeks. This seems to be the shortest.
1, 2, 3, 1.
1 to Fallen Umber. Another 1 to Behemoth Shell. That's 2. 2 from Behemoth Shell to Moon Facing Ford. So that's 4. Another 2 to Near Moon.
Yeah.
So that's 6.
About
Another
2.
1 to Spectrum. Another 1 to Spectrum Run. That's 7. 1 more to Refracting Trees. That's 8.
Yeah. So yeah, it's about a 2-month journey, and you would have to, there's nowhere to resupply or trade or anything in the Dullway, so you'd have to go in heavy, but
you just like burn a bunch. You just like burn all those supplies, and you're there.
Yeah, and there's probably no interdimensional monsters in there.
Probably.
No one's come back to report any. So, great. So we did our misfortune. We did that there. We did our Dullway. Let me roll for a encounter. Who am I?
Could I tell if it was possible to enter the Dullway physically, or is it only for?
This is only for the body soul, or the mind soul.
Mind soul. Okay.
Oh, so you need to have something to move into when you exited the other side.
Yeah, it is only because you rolled so well on your initial exploration that your body did not disintegrate when you went in there. Oh boy. So
I mean, I'm just saying, we have a bunch of bodies now.
we do.
So we could do a kind of business
That's
if we
true.
had some bodies on the other side
That is
Yeah.
true.
of letting people travel across with their souls.
Just need to get there to start the chain. While Adoron is diving, tell me how everyone is kind of arranged while that's happening.
I'm guessing we. I think that we've probably pulled the caravan up close to the Waystone, so that we're, pretty. And then probably Adoron went off mostly by himself, but we're not that far. I mean, we can see what Adoron's up to, but
yeah. Well, and that camp,
maybe
a couple was close.
Yeah, and maybe a couple of individuals went over just to make sure that Adoron doesn't get into too much trouble. But I think we brought most of the caravan in, and so we're just kind of like milling about.
Yeah.
I think Alba Negra probably would be in an altered space watching Adoron because she would be curious about this.
Interesting. So those of you who are not in an altered space, start to, it sounds like thunder kind of rolling in. This dust storms whip up and down, but they're usually not like electrical storms like that, and it becomes pretty clear that it is not thunder when the ground begins to shudder as well, but it is kind of like a rolling thunder that's getting louder.
Is there something stampeding toward us?
Maybe not stampeding. Through the ruined machines, and you see this from a distance. It is very clear what is happening. It looks like a rust storm at first, until you see the parts of machines kind of like flying off as it starts veering towards the monolith. It looks like something very large is burrowing through the piles of junk, and as it gets closer, again from a distance, it's kind of deceiving. It's like, it's like something. Oh no, it's much bigger as it gets closer. Oh yeah.
Can we try to get the once we realize it's coming in our direction, can we try to like, get the caravan out of the way?
Yeah, you definitely can.
Also, question, do machines have souls? Because could
Some
we
do.
sort of direct it into the portal
Ooh,
and then maybe loot what's left behind?
ooh. This one's not going to make it into the portal. This is like a like sandworm sized thing that comes through here. You may have heard other travelers talk about the machine worm. This is a regular denizen of this place, and it's as it gets closer, you can tell it's not coming directly at you. It will come probably uncomfortably close if you don't move, but it is not going to probably care about you particularly. It is, probably 50 feet across, and seems content kind of diving through the parts, disappearing into the ground, coming up. As it gets closer, the noise is less like thunder and more just like a giant, like clattering, like a thousand printing presses, kind of. Um, and you can definitely like get some space just in case, right? Like put the monolith between you and it. It's got it's shorter than you thought it would be, given its height. It's more like kind of like caterpillar shaped. It's got dozens and dozens of these like multi-jointed bladed legs, and it's about 100 feet long. Maybe it's like 30 feet across, 200 feet long, and
Oh yeah, way shorter than I thought it would be.
yeah,
I was going to be 300 feet long.
and it glints from the like the sharp, crisp metal of its legs, but you can also tell that it is like encrusted with crystals or maybe jewels. Difficult to tell, but it just goes through tearing up everything in the area. You can approach it if you want to. It doesn't seem to have taken notice of you, even though you are pretty visible. It seems to only be digging through the trash. Would you do anything?
I would recommend that we like move away from its path, get away from it. I don't think we really want to tangle with this thing. This thing is more of a force of nature than something that we can. My perception is this is more of a force of nature than something that we can actually like try to deal with intelligently. And I think the intelligent thing to do is get the hell out of its way.
I can tell you, your tragic missile will do a lot of damage to it, but probably not enough.
Probably not enough.
Yeah, it's big, it's nasty, or maybe not. It's a machine. It's unclear whether you could, if you were curious, you could probably reach out a little bit and see if it had the mind soul dyad required, but that might attract its attention. It's probably not.
Yeah, I'd rather not attract its attention. I think we should just like avoid it. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Anyone think differently?
Both of my characters are busy in the noosphere, so they don't think about it at all.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Yeah,
So
and it kind of like,
move the caravan calmly.
yeah,
Don't attract attention. Just like let's just easily
and it moves
go the other way.
remarkably quickly for its size, right? And it kind of like crackles with static as it goes in and out of the dust and dirt. And you definitely move out of its way. It doesn't seem like something that you would outrun necessarily, if you were trying to do that, and it eventually moves on. But this is a thing that lives in this area. If you wanted to seek it out later. Great. A little terrifying. I would definitely be asking for ruin rolls if this was trophy.
Yep.
Cool. So that's your encounter, the machine worm with a Y. Let's see. Next step is rest if we need to do that again. We probably don't. We don't have any extra day tallies. You've got your destination actions you can do. This is the week of travel. If there's anything else you want to do, otherwise we can continue moseying up. And that will be another week to the Last Serai.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything. Yeah, I should probably start working. I mean, I can't think of anything idle to do. I should probably start thinking of another skill I want to learn to use for idle cycles like that. But I don't have one at the moment, so.
And I guess, do I need like a new avenue of exploration to continue developing my skill?
Yeah. Basically, you need to find like another
Okay.
reason to get another level. Yeah, so we're approaching the end of Old Second, and we're gonna need another misfortune roll.
Okay, so it's going to be another week. So let me spend more supplies.
Get your supplies. Pick a new person to do misfortune.
I'll do it. I think Alba Negra would have at the tower been studying Adoron's holy diving. 19.
Yeah, 19 will get you a success. Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's that. Let me roll again because I was going to do misfortune. 4. There we go. Good misfortune.
Cool. Yeah, there's a misfortune. Let's see. What do we get for that? Ooh. So as you're traveling along the Waystone, this is getting more into sort of red, dusty, like you having been to the Waystone now, you know that the kind of red tinge to this sand in the area is from rust. But as you get closer to the Serai, it becomes more actual dust and less scraps of rusty metal. There are electrical storms in this area, however, whether it's due to the dust storms or what possibly affected by the electrostatic bubble around the Serai itself. And their lightning strikes are not uncommon here.
Well, a good time to remind you. Remember, I have electro detection as a skill.
Ooh, yeah. You don't even have to roll for anything regarding that. You can definitely tell that there are electrical storms in this area, and they're not striking, near the trail here, but they do kind of kick stuff up. Adoron, can I get an endurance roll from you?
Sure.
And this is an easy roll, so it's
a 7 plus 2
Great.
is 9, and if I need to use a hero die, I will.
Nope, you're good. A 7 will do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think between you being very comfortable with your body and Modan's electric sense, the lightning has kind of kicked up biomantic spores.
Oh.
The careless might get some corruption from that, but again, you've been through this way before. You're not careless. You know how it goes.
I mean, this is where we met Adocar, isn't it?
Adocar was around the Waystone, I think.
Okay.
Waystone, yeah.
Oh yeah, at the the Wall of Souls. SOLE.
So, can Alba Negra collect some of these biomantic spores?
Yes, it will be risky, however. I would need an endurance roll from her as well, but it's just a 7.
Gotcha. She will use. So that's 11 total.
Great. Yeah. Yeah, she can get a little vial of of mutagenic biomantic spores. And that's just, a soap worth.
Yep.
And one more roll for encounters.
I haven't rolled yet.
Oh, this is.
Oh wait, the GM rolls for that, right?
This is my super secret roll. Great. Where are we there? Oh, just before you get to the Serai, what was the distance of that? Um, hmm, you you're about a day and change out from the Serai. And I think Adoron, you're the one that notices this. The road is not kind to many travelers. And you do occasionally come across a caravan that is run out of supplies or has been abandoned or whatever. Sometimes, there are pilgrims or groups or lone travelers that have just decided to give up and fall by the wayside. And Adoron, you see one of these unfortunate people a ways off the road, and there's something about them that makes you stop.
So Adoron will immediately head that way.
Yeah. And I think it takes a while to recognize the figure it's been there for a little while, a couple months maybe, kind of desiccated, and it's hard to tell because originally it seems like it would have been the exposure that's done this, but their body is kind of misshapen, kind of twisted into the shape like a half man, half toad. And then you realize it is the Batrachian cultist that you donated some of your flesh to.
Right.
But it does look like he used it to achieve his goal. He just is not fit for the road.
Adoron is going to be sad. And Adoron, does anybody else come this way, or is it only Adoron who?
It's like about as far off the road as like you would go to pee, right? If you like people will wander off to do that. So unless you specifically call
So it's not like an hour off the road or
no,
something.
it's just like I'm just gonna go behind that bush over there and see that guy.
Yeah. So Adoron's gonna carry the body back.
Yeah. When you pick the body up, something falls from it.
Okay.
And it is his toad-shaped lump of golden dryland coral that is shaped like his that's what he was trying to change his shape to look like.
Right.
Which you can take if you like. It's a little idol.
Yeah, I will add that to my let's see. That'll put me over, but that's fine.
It's soap size, so you can stash it in a pocket somewhere probably.
Okay. Golden Drylands Coral Idol. Okay, I'll do that, and I actually will bring the body back.
Yeah, it's pretty much just that and his robes that have seen better days.
Yeah. If we can take what are the normal burial practices?
There are many, yeah.
Yeah. Adoron will yeah, we'll just add it. We probably have some space because we've used some supplies. Adoron will add the dead body to the caravan.
Would it help you at all for me to carry that burden for you? I could stick it in one of my. I am a pocket master. I'm just so we all share the load. I know you look a bit overburdened there with all the things you're carrying.
I believe this burden is one I must carry myself, although the body can be in a cart. Thank you, though. I shall think of things to put in your pockets. This will be an entertaining thought.
Great. Yeah. And then without much further ado, you reach the Serai. The Last Serai is a city. It is let me paste the cool picture from the book in again.
It's like the last outpost of like the Rainbow Land civilization.
Yeah, it is about as far east as the satraps go. They have a Serai at the Porcelain Citadel. This is about as far east as they go and about as far west as the princes go and other Rainbow Landers. So it is it's got another one of these like large green pillars in the middle. It's got a bunch of kind of nodules of buildings built up around it. It has you can see as you're approaching, it's got this big electrostatic bubble that keeps all the dust out. It gives you a little tingle as you walk through it. There are a bunch of nearby, like a couple hours trek away, not discoveries, but just different parts, like suburbs of the Serai, I guess. There's the sort of half pyramid, half sphere harmonium, which is kind of like the seat of the princes at the Serai. There's the last trading house, which is the outpost of Rainbow Landers. There's the satrap embassy that only has one walker outside of it right now. And then, of course, there is the ignored tower several hours apart, which people do not look at or talk about. But as you approach Adoron, you are getting it's not a pull anymore, but you feel that connection strongly.
Yes. Oh, at a certain point, Adoron will stop and wave at the tower.
It's best not to look at it.
Oh, is it really even for Adoron?
Yeah. Anyone who looks at it dies pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then Adoron won't do that.
It is not facing the Serai, so there's a face to it. And that's facing the death-facing passage, which is very dangerous to travel. You can see the tower from other angles, just not from the north.
Yeah, you don't want to look at it from that direction, but you can look at it from you can glance at it from other directions, but it gives you a really uneasy feeling even when you glance at it.
Yeah, most people do not like even acknowledging it at all. Cool. Let's go ahead and take a little break. Let's go till past, I guess. And then we will rejoin our adventure in the Serai.
Okay.
Pops back on.
The dog, right?
Yeah. I noticed that. So I was looking at the caravan. I noticed that in Sack 1 there is a spell that I think who was it? It was Yillis
Oh yeah.
had at some point. And that's just a thing that anyone can use. It just is an item, basically.
Oh really? Okay.
Don't remember what it does, but we can find out.
Hold on. Well, I'm curious now.
It is the in Sec 1, 666 ways to nowhere. Highway cruiser spell. I don't see it in the SDM. It might be somewhere else. Oh no, there is highway cruiser. Oh, it's the same one that no, it's not. Full self-driving. Summon a driver demon from the noosphere and bind it to your vehicles. Oh, so it's makes your vehicle self-driving.
Well, if you have an auto golem.
Yeah.
Which we don't currently have.
Yeah. But it is also a spell. It's an item. I think it was described as it's a book or some sort of readable thing. So it is also tradable if you're short on cash at some point.
Got it. Well, that might be something to actually, learn.
Yeah. I think as you're entering the Serai, the other thing that again, it's more of a like gut pull for Adoron. Um, there is some, you do sense some connection between the ignored tower and the Porcelain Prince's harmonium. There is something like pulling there. It's really vague and unclear what it is, but there is some connection.
Okay.
But great, you're in town. What would you like to do here? As usual, all the usual destination actions are available to you.
So I think we I
Market research, buying and selling.
yeah, I think we need to buy and sell stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the first thing I want to try to do is meet up with some of the Porcelain Princes traders to see if they'd be interested in these Ka zombies.
Yeah. And I think even before you go looking, like once you get to the main Serai, um, like there is a broker approaches you. They introduce themselves as random NPC, as Skiaka de Serpens. They bow deeply. They're a hooded rainbow lander, and they say, "Ah, I see that you've come bearing fruit for the princes."
Indeed, we encountered a creature that was stealing stealing the personality of people and was adding them to a herd.
Of course, a creature, very terrible, terrible.
And it seemed a pity to, and it was basically creating group of a mindless herd that it would then feed upon.
Yes, it's terrible when a creature out there does that to someone.
We were interested in, but it seemed a pity to let these perfectly good biological bodies to go to waste.
Of course, of course. You have come at a fortuitous time. There's a need for things such as these, and as he's talking, he's kind of like going around, checking teeth and whatnot.
Kind of figured that.
Let me yeah. So was there anyone in mind, or are you just putting them on the open market?
Stepping out of character, were there any princes that we like dealt with any princes that were around here that we had dealt with
Yeah, so
in a positive manner?
Yeah, I think they were all pretty positive, or at least neutral to interested.
Got it. Because I know we talked with Angel 22 Entity, who was like the highest ranking prince around here.
Unity, because it is
Unity,
one guy.
Well,
Angel 22
also,
Unity.
There's the whole Pookie 9-body marriage elopement thing.
Yeah, so Black Helmet 60 plurality is the one that Modan trained with, and it is now Black Helmet 51 plurality, and they're the security force for the Serai, because 9 of them broke off to become their own thing and elope with a cat. And Lacquer Stone 4-body, who I believe Modan also spoke to, is the one that kind of manages them. And you can imagine that they are quite put out about that situation. So you can probably get an audience with Angel 22 Unity. You can definitely talk to Lacquer Stone 4-body, or you can just broker it through Skiata if you want to.
I'm a little dubious as to going through a broker. I kind of like I would prefer like knowing who are actually selling these to.
Yeah, and they will lead you to the harmonium, of course.
Adoron will definitely tag along on this.
Yeah. Is everyone going along there, and do folks want to break off and do their own thing?
I mean, I think I would go along.
Along. Although we also we came across that contract to kill an Ultra.
You did,
I am curious about like is there anyone I could go to that would like know about ultras? Because I know that ultras are pretty not well known. Like people
Yeah,
don't encounter ultras every day.
yeah, yeah. They're like post-human, not spirits, but science
Yeah,
fiction
that's kind
spirits.
of what they are.
Yeah. Um,
Like we know what they are, but like I want to know like lore about like how does one deal with ultras? Like I guess startup
yes.
training or studying about
Ooh.
ultras
Yeah, and you
to have
can,
like a skill for like ultra lore or something like that.
yeah, and even just asking around, you can definitely get information about that as well. Great. Making some rolls.
And what was the name of that? What was the name? Black Helmet. What was his name again? I never put him in the list of NPCs.
Black Helmet, 51 plurality is now.
Black Helmet, 51 plurality.
Yeah.
Right. That's who Modan trained with.
Yeah. There's also Pookie and Mook. Mook was the orc who was the actual friend of Pookie, not being mind controlled by them. Not that cats do that. There were, yeah, that one. Mm,
Well,
yeah,
and Mook has been running the pavilion in Adoron's absence.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then there's a bunch of other rainbow landers and satraps. But yeah, Siaka will lead you to the harmonium. One of the functionaries there will like slip him some cash as commission. And I think because Modan knows Lacquer Stone Forebody, you can get a same day appointment with them for sure. You train, so Lacquerstone hooked you up with the training, so you've got a fairly cordial relationship with them, Modan. Um,
Also, Modan was not that we know, but Modan was in the secret employ of Lackerstone also.
yes, yeah. I don't remember what for, but it was something.
Spying. Modan was supposed to spy, but I'm not sure. I don't remember on
Oh, maybe it
who.
was on the satraps.
Probably. Yeah.
Keep an eye on stuff.
And
Really
I'm
know
also blank. I'm also blanking. What's the name of the what was the name of the like the citadel of
the
the princes here
harmonium.
again?
Yeah, yeah, and I can give you a cool picture of that as well. This section of the book is very well illustrated. I mean, they all are. That's the harmonium.
Mm.
The Temple of Boule Electronique. The Temple of the Electric Ball. Great. So Lacquerstone, after a while, ushers you in. They have, you know, it is functionally an office, but in practice is, you know, a marble, like salon-sized room. It has not super comfortable seating for them. You know, there's four of them, and they speak in a chorus. They're very kind of functionary and to the point. And but I guess this is a question for Modan. Well, question for Modan, and I want to paint the scene with everyone. So a normal person would shake your hand, right? How does someone with four bodies greet you in that way?
I think because there's only four, and I take it aside from the multi bodies, like most beings in the grasslands are single bodied, right?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
So I'd say it's fairly common. There's only four that they position themselves all around you in cardinal north, south, east, west, and then you basically spin and do like a slap, like a slap, 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 slap around in a circle.
Fantastic. And I paint the scene for everyone, I guess. So in this kind of uh, I want to say palatial, but cozy palatial, right? Room. Like what do you see that like demonstrates that they have been hard at work still, but there's like a lot of stress and anxiety around the edges of them.
Could you repeat the leading question for the paint the scene? I'm not sure I quite follow.
Yeah. So, what do you see in Lackerstone's office that indicates they have been hard at work as ever, but they're kind of fraying around the edges? They're kind of anxious and worried about stuff.
I mean, I can make a go at this.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining something like French, like like tall spaces, sort of French like Sun King Palace type thing, but fewer details, like fewer decorations. And there's a simple set of four tables, desks, and chairs for each of them, and maybe just like a single armoire in the background. And we know that they're disrupted because instead of everything being precise and neat, you have memory crystals
Mm,
that have been jumbled across one of the desks as if they all were focusing on one desk trying to sort out lots of details, and the armoire is partway open instead of fully closed.
nice. Love it.
I think there's also in a waste receptacle, there's a lot of cores of this local fruit that borders on it's not a narcotic, but it's like caffeine. It's something, but it's something that but that's something that calms you.
Mm,
So it's like a calming fruit that, you know,
love
it's
it.
like, man, they've been going through those local fruits. A lot of cores in the bin here.
Love it.
I think he's just got, um, you know, I'm. This is an office. I'm guessing the princes are kind of bureaucratic. I'm guessing he's got like an in and out. I guess he's got an old fashioned in and out box,
Nice.
and um, there's just a there's just like there's a really high stack of papers on the on in the inbox, and there's some in the outbox, but he's just like clearly really behind on his paperwork.
Amazing. Anything from Newt?
You want to add a detail, Stephen?
What was that?
Did you want to add a detail to the paint the scene, or are you good?
Oh, sorry. I thought it was just everyone else. What was the question again?
What do you see in the office that shows they've been hard at work, but kind of fraying around the edges?
Hmm. I feel like, and this is at the the multi-body embassy,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I feel like there are like bodies that like should technically be doing something, but they're like glitching almost.
Oh, nice.
Like they're running through like making a pot of coffee over and over again. Like they're making a coffee, putting it in, and it's just overflowing.
Fun, fun. Great. I love all that. Cool. So Modan Lackerstone gives you the multi-slap greeting. And I assume you don't bring the entire caravan in to the harmonium. Um, uh, Hello, friend, chorus. I'm terribly busy today, but of course I can make time for you. How can I be of service?
Well, we brought some interesting caravan goods that we wanted to give you a first look at.
Oh, I'm not generally in the business of trade. I'm sure we can find someone for you, though. Was there something specific for me?
We have we have acquired a number of humans whose personality had been stolen and consumed by a creature. Basically, we have Ka zombies.
Amazing. And so, as per the name, Porcelain Princes all have masks on. The lacquer stones are kind of these shiny, like almost matching the office, like these kind of like marble kind of plain mask. And so there's no facial expressions that you detect, but just by their body language, it's a combination of relief and excitement. Definitely tell. And like almost before you can finish getting out, just the four of them, say like, how many?
17.
And you see like a little math going on all 40 fingers. 17 is more than enough, more than enough. Stretched a little thin still, but I think with a little bit of adjustment time that will work. Fantastic. May I inspect them?
Absolutely.
They're from a creature.
We encountered we encountered a memory thief. It appeared to be a giant. Looked to be. I had read about such creatures, but I didn't think I would ever encounter one. It looked like a giant centipede.
Huh.
That would, sting you, knock you out, and then it would like mind meld with you and pull out your personality, which it would then add to itself. Although over time it would then consume that personality, leaving a Ka zombie.
This centipede didn't
When
flicker in and out of existence, did it?
did it flicker in and out of existence?
Or appear to be in more than one place at once?
Not that we observed.
Different creature then.
When we slew it, it seemed to just flat out die.
Oh.
It had lots of faces,
And when
like lots of faces of the
yes, yeah,
beings that it
yes,
consumed.
over its like centipede, multi, like compound eyes, it projected images of the various faces that it of the personalities that it had access to. When
Actually, I
we
believe it did flicker at one point too.
Hmm.
when it died, the personalities it was still stored went back to the individuals who were wandering around, but
Oh, so these still have personalities?
no, these don't. Uh, there were about 25 of these. There were about 25 of these. The rest got their personalities back. These 17 did not. We presume that it's because this creature ate their souls.
Oh. Well, um, I'd be more than happy to take a look at them then. It sounds like a terrible, terrible ordeal to go through to have your personality consumed by a centipede.
Yes, it was like public speaking naked while having nails inserted into your fingers.
Oh, you're one of
Ugh.
them,
Yes, we are.
and you feel that you're in good condition?
Um, we were hungry, but and I gesture at Adoron. This one gave us caffeine.
Hmm. Well, I'd be pleased to do business with you. Um, you all go out, inspect them. They're great. Um, he offers you the going price. If you would like to haggle, you may.
I would absolutely like to haggle.
This will add a little bit of time.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Cool.
Yeah, I would absolutely like to haggle.
Great.
So so in the past I've used my advertising engineer skill for that.
Mhm. Yeah.
That and charisma.
Yeah. And this will be your action for the week.
That's fine. that is fine. So I'm an expert advertising engineer, so at a 6, so I'm gonna roll +8, and I only rolled a 7.
Fantastic.
+8, +8 is a 15.
Great. Let's see. Do a little math. So he offers you a bit over 4,000 for the lot. 4,080 to be precise.
And there were 17 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I'm just curious what that.
3,400, I believe. Or are they 200 base?
If I'm reasonably sure this is the best deal we're going to get from him, I will accept the deal.
You could throw a hero dice on that if you want.
I think I am going to throw a hero die on that.
Yeah, you got to charge the extra for shipping.
We did have to kill a centipede creature to get these. I mean, it was a pretty big deal.
Right.
And we did have to spend an extra. We did have to spend extra to for the care and feeding. But anyway, let's throw a hero die. Oh, great! I got a 1. Brings it up to a 16.
We're looking for an 18 for the next level.
Right. So Adoron, how can I do this?
I'm gonna say I'll throw one more hero die in unless someone else wants to throw a hero die in. I'm gonna throw another hero die in.
Okay.
Fantastic.
2.
Just does it.
Okay, that just does it.
Yep. So that brings the. So
It's a hard sell, but
tell me what your schmoozing looks like.
I think Phaedred is going into full like advertising pitch mode here. Is talking about the he's gesturing to the to the various zombies that we've brought here. Mention how how well how well and how humanely we have taken care of them. Did the best we could. Continued to care and feed them, and alas, we started to run low on supplies for the last for the last we fed them as soon as we fed them again as soon as we got as soon as we got here.
They seem to be well taken care of.
And we basically say we these are in at least as good a condition as they were when we found them.
Well, they are.
If not better.
They are clean in both body and mind, and they look like they are ready to receive. I think so. I don't. You haven't been here for a while, so perhaps you aren't aware of the recent unpleasantness. But I am looking to bolster Black Helmet carefully, as I'm afraid that 60 bodies may have been too much for him to handle. So we are going to take it slow and introduce them gradually so as not to further disrupt his integrity.
Understood.
But we appreciate this is sometimes bodies are difficult to come by in the quantities that you need them. And the many princes,
and these seemed a terrible thing to waste. If their souls had been consumed by this creature, I guess they'll at least live on somehow.
Many of the princes of the Citadel are loath to part with their own treasures for us out here in the reaches. So you are welcome, and we thank you very much. So that is going to be 5,100 altogether.
5,100 altogether. Okay. Going to add that to our caravan.
And so, do the rest of us still get our weekly action or whatever?
Yeah.
Because I think after just hearing the endless epic stories, I think Modan is like, I gotta try this carousing thing.
And I was going to say once we've made the sale, so that does go into our caravan pool. But I think now that we're back at a city, I think it's time to actually pay ourselves a little. So why don't I think I'm going to pay? If it's okay with everyone, let's like the four of us. Let's each take 1,000.
Fantastic.
I
Rolling.
kind of just go with the caravan.
I'll pay 100, 500 of that back to Adoron.
Okay,
Nice.
thank you.
Modan, what are you going to seek out for carousing?
Um,
Well, who are you going to carouse with? Are you going to hang with the princes?
that was my that's what felt right. It just felt
Okay.
like we just did this huge deal with them. We
Yeah.
got a good reputation with them. They taught me how to fight. We got a history. It just felt like, let's
True.
celebrate together.
Yeah, party with Black Helmet.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, roll with charisma then.
And I need to determine first how much I'm spending, right? Is that how it works?
Yes. So roll a d6 times 100 is going to be the cost and what you get.
Oh, so I don't give you a cost. It comes
No.
from-
Yeah, you roll. It could be 100. It could be 1 million. We don't know.
Yeah,
Could be a million if you roll
so,
six. The
what is
sixes
it,
explode.
D6, you said?
D6 exploding. Yep.
D6. 2.
2. Great. So that's going to be 200 cash and 200 XP, and make our roll to see what we get.
And this is a D20
This is D20 plus charisma.
plus charisma. So charismatic. That's a 3. D20 plus 3. Oh God, I'm spending hero die on that.
Woohoo!
I will not have a bad party.
Or it could be an incredibly good party, but
Second one. I've rolled twice tonight, both ones.
You probably do want to spend for that one,
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
because otherwise,
otherwise you're gonna end up naked in a ditch with a corruption.
Yeah. Another one. God damn it.
oh boy.
You know what?
So that was your hero die.
That was
Yep.
a hero
Yeah,
die.
you're at
So-
2.
So at
Okay,
least you didn't
so
get
hold
dice.
on. You are
Actually, this one might be fun if you want to go with this one.
Okay.
You get into a weird gladiatorial game with some princes.
ooh,
What was your
Kind of makes
Adoron?
sense.
a weird.
Weird gladiatorial game with the princes? That might be fun.
Well, and especially since Modan trained with them.
That's true. I mean, that
That's
kind
true.
of scans.
Let me see what the actual consequences of that are. Scroll.
3
scroll.
fucking ones tonight. I don't believe this.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So a 2 got into a weird gladiatorial assassination game with some princes. Player gets as many tokens as there are other players plus 1. The tokens represent hit contracts. They lose 1d6 stat points or 1d20 life for each one they keep. A random other player's hero loses half their life. This is a whole mini game.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's play the mini game.
So do you want to play an assassination game, or do you want to end
Sure.
your die?
Well, I was also, Adoron, you were about to say something.
Well, I will intervene, but actually, this assassination game seems very interesting, given that it would tie us into the politics of the Serai.
I was kind of thinking along the same lines. This assassination game sounds like it might be fun.
I mean,
I mean,
don't
so
feel
basically,
like
you're playing like killer with yourselves and probably Black Helmet.
Right.
And if everybody wants to go with it, I'm willing to roll with it. It does work with the back.
Now, when we say we're playing killer, is this an assassination game, or are we actually assassinating people?
You'll be losing. Yeah, so you lose 1d6 stat points or 1d20 life for each token you keep, and then a random other player's hero loses half their life for each token disposed of. If the player disposes of all their contracts, something special happens, and someone loses a limb. A random hero loses a limb.
Oh,
Sounds like fun, but it's up to you.
I'm willing to play.
I'm game.
Basically, it's just a bunch of damage for no real benefit.
Well,
That's true. It's a bunch of damage for no
But
real
it is
benefit.
fun. It is fun.
well, it is bonding. We will bond with the.
Definitely will bonding.
Not only
no, I
ourselves.
don't know. I don't think I can do it. It sounds,
You don't wanna
does
do
sound
it?
fun, but I think
I mean, it's ultimately it's up to you. So if you don't want to do it, go ahead and spend. I mean, we can spend another hero die, and
I feel like he would. I feel like he would, Vic. Let's go down to one.
But
hero
you're
die.
hanging out with Black Helmet, and he's like, "Let me tell you about this cool fucking game we're gonna do," and you talk him out of it by spending another die.
Oh, this is the worst carousing ever. Let's see, one more hero die will do. How about a 5?
A
some
5,
pieces.
great. So that takes you up to a 6.
Well, wait. plus
7.
7?
total. Yeah.
Great. Good. And you're not robbed, left half naked in a ditch with a dead Voam. You do,
This party sucks.
you do get drunk. You do get a full body hangover. And oh yeah, look at that.
but you get 200 XP.
Get 200 XP.
Yay.
And I think you do get let me get another prince for you. So involved in this party is the new Porcelain Prince climate litigation 8 body. They are an upper class merchant. Here, let me paste that name into chat. They're a merchant from the Citadel. Was already with. So yeah, full body hangover is going to be a burden for you. But you do also, he did also teach you a secret handshake, which he says is the first step to a power from this secret society that he is in of merchants. And if you give this handshake to the right people, they will teach you further secrets. So you will take a skill, I guess, and that'll be 1 out of 3 secret handshake.
Okay, but I guess that means I kind of need to.
Which would also be a burden, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, unless I drop some. You can just drop skills, right?
Yeah, you can drop Beatamans if you want, or whatever you
I
like.
was thinking of maybe dropping electro detection.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or planning ahead, you could add a point of thought next time you level up, which would give you another spot.
Yeah, but
Right.
leveling is so fucking slow. I don't know when that's gonna be. So I'd be carrying around a burden for quite a few sessions, probably.
Yeah. So you're level 4 now. Next level is at 6,000. Yeah.
Yeah. We
is
got
it
a long way
6,000?
to go.
Okay.
And I don't know that. Let's see.
I mean, you haven't made any progress on Beanamancy yet.
That's true.
That's true as well. It's a good point.
I would say that you now have a potential teacher, but if she stays with the party for a while, you can maybe pick that up later.
And you can also always start over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I will say maybe these secret societies have some secret knowledge about lagoons that you might want to find out from them.
No, yeah. Might as well drop that one since it's literally 0 out of 3 right now. What would we call it? We're just calling it secret handshake.
Yep, secret handshake and this is from a polybody merchant from the Citadel. So it's probably a secret society of merchants, but the night is hazy.
And it's at 1 of 3 now.
It is at 1 of 3. Yep.
Ugh. Okay, that party still sucked. I feel horrible.
So
Newt made it look so appealing.
yeah, but Newt's a narco generalist.
And beans never tasted like this.
Oh, the beans have an aftertaste now.
I am running out of I have mostly run out of images of people wearing masks in either either the UVG or the Our Golden Age books.
Yeah. Great. While that party's happening, what are Adoron and Newt up to in the city? That's right.
Like I said, I think I'm trying to find out. Like, I know we said that we know that they exist, but in the same sense, like, I know that bears exist, but if you ask me how to fight a bear, I don't know how I would go about that. So I am trying to look into like ultra lore and knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you sticking with the princes, or do you want to kind of go to Rainbow Town?
I think I'm going to Rainbow Town. Like, I think it's like this is kind of the closest thing to like a metropolitan area that we're gonna get in the
Yeah.
grasslands. So like this is the place to find out from like a bunch of different sources.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so let me make a roll here for something fun. So there is the main attraction. There's the Giving Cow, which is the milk bar. 12. Um, Fascinating. Do you just want to ask like a random people, or do you want to go to the milk bar or seek out a merchant, or like who are you hoping to talk to?
I feel like the people I'd ask go to are like maybe whatever bar is frequented by like the mercenaries and guardsmen that have that accompany the merchants because they probably would know more about this sort of thing than the merchants themselves.
Fantastic. I love it. Go ahead and give me a D20 with charisma.
Okay. And that's a 12.
Cool. Great. So 12. Yeah. So I love it. So there is it's not like a full bar, it's more like a more like a hot dog truck bar that the mercenaries kind of the caravan guards gather around, kind of on the edge of the what's it called? The Last Trading House.
Wait, that it serves hot dogs, or it's like one of those
Oh,
big wiener mobiles with a bar.
It's like a cart with an umbrella.
Okay.
And it's like
Okay.
the bar is in there. It's not a place where people go into, but a place where people congregate.
Right. Okay.
Get their drinks in tin cups, basically. And yeah, so you hang out, ingratiate yourself with some folks. Let's see. Our friend here is what we had already. Let's try that. His name's his name's Dulce, DOL, like a Dulce de leche. And I think the other, like, there's a lot of kind of rougher looking caravan guards that are more like either interested in catching up with each other or drinking their trauma away. But Dolce seems very interested in you particularly. And they're like they have a little bit fancier armor, and they have a pistol and sword that look like they may have been used, but maybe they don't have to. Maybe they can talk their way out of trouble. but yeah, and so they are very eager to share what they know about ultras. And that is as follows. No, there we are. So yeah, so the ultra on your contract, I'm gonna put the name in chat because it is one of those names. The name is New, Karnneu. And so Dolce hasn't heard of that particular ultra specifically, but has definitely heard stories of these abmortals that basically body hop. They talk about their travels in the lime nomad lime nomad steppes to the northeast, and says they know of a secret settlement there, not settlement, like a, what do you call it, where these nomads have gathered in a semi
Gathering place.
yeah, it's like a village, I guess, in the hills, the cliffs nearby the steppes, that rumor has he's never been able to get it out of a steppe nomad, despite evenings sitting around the campfire with them. But the rumors are that it is inhabited by many ultras, and they sometimes take on the appearance of like wispy smoke or fog, or sometimes they're just like a hazy vision. And most ultras that are still around are actually, you never know when you're talking to one. Like you could be an ultra right now, and I could be spilling my guts, and who knows?
Or you could be, and I give him a look.
I might not even know. They are, powerful and usually pretty old and good at what they do. I'm sure the ones that are less good at what they do tend to be hunted down, probably. They don't have their own bodies, so it's difficult to actually kill them. But take out enough bodies, and they start to get discouraged.
Have you ever heard of one getting trapped in a body?
Trapped? I haven't, but that is an intriguing proposition. I have heard that they can't really die because they're not really alive, right? And I've never really heard of anyone trying to like destroy one. Trapping one in a body, if it was not only trapped but bound to a body, and then that body was killed. But I'm sure I'm sure you've heard the legends of the vial, from long ago. It's rumored that they either use technology from the vial, or they were maybe once the vial themselves. And if they've lasted this long, I don't know anyone who could bind one to a body enough to kill it, but that is a fascinating proposition, and I would be interested in seeing that happen for sure. That would be a story to tell for into old age.
So and then I think I'm like, because Newt Incorporeal has their own suspicions at this point, and I almost say we, but then I change it to I, because now I'm not entirely sure. Like, are we Carnew? Is that us? Thank you, and I'll put down 10 cash. Is that how much is a round for this guy? How much would a round for this guy cost?
Yeah, a couple cash, but 10 is very generous.
Yeah, I'll be generous and buy a round for everyone with us and say like 10 cash.
Yeah. Here in the Serai, um, like your standard rooms, I was just looking at it. Basically like crappy rooms for the week are 4 cash, and the super fancy rooms are like luxury suites are 100 per week. So with somewhere in between there, depending. 10 is probably great for this card.
Yeah, but I'm not thinking of like rooms, just like a round of drinks.
Yeah, just like trying to scale of like
yeah,
like $4 for a crappy hotel room of the week. A good round of drinks would be about that, I guess.
like 10.
Yeah, totally fine.
Okay, I'll pay 10 cash and buy a round.
Yeah. And so they're like, so are you traveling? Are you like a lone assassin, like traveling by yourself in the grasslands, seeking out this ultra?
No,
Let me back up. Did you mention that you're hunting it?
I don't think I mentioned that I'm hunting it, but like I guess like the questions of like how would you fight one? It's kind of obvious that like I must have
Right.
some kind of beef with it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess instead he's like, so are you a lone traveler or
No, I am traveling with a caravan. We are here to trade before heading back out deeper into the west.
Oh,
We're going west, right?
yes.
Like that's the deep. Okay. From like the colored lands perspective.
Yeah. It's Black City is all the way to the west. He's like, so do you have I assume your caravan has caravan guards as well. Mine, I was briefly hired to we parted ways on good terms, of course. I'm not I don't need employment right now, but if you are going on an adventure, I would be thrilled to help out in any way I could for the nominal, usual fees, of course.
Now I'm already pretending to be using the wrong pronouns around him, so I do not believe the rest of my caravan are interested in hiring more guards, and I put down another like 10 cash.
Mm-hmm.
For your time, and should anyone else ask about Cardew, you can tell them that you have not heard of this name.
Oh,
just as you told me.
Of course. Of course. I imagine, yes. So generous. Thank you. And they finish their drinks, and
yeah, and we finish our drinks, and I say goodbye.
Great. And I think from without a roll from your warrior skill, you can tell this is someone who like bought fancy equipment and fancies themselves some sort of fighter or something, but probably hasn't put in the hours, right? So that's probably a good call. Cool. Adoron, have we done you yet?
Nope. So while we're with the Porcelain Princes, Adoron wants to see if there is anybody amongst the princes who is either is a craftsperson or knows a craftsperson who works with porcelain masks, because I need to round out my crafting skill.
Yes.
I'm going to spend a week training crafting.
Fantastic.
And I thought it would be an appropriate choice to try to learn the porcelain mask trade.
Yeah, I love that. Let me make some rolls just to give myself a little bit of. Yeah, there is, in fact, in the harmonium, there is a three body prince called Obscure Fiber. And Obscure Fiber is the like the house craftsman for the local important people, and often crafts masks as gifts when they're needed, um, or if um, or if a new prince emerges that requires their own personalized masks if they cast off their old ones. Or if, your caravan has so graciously done, we are in need of uh, a dozen or more masks quickly to match a body that is being incorporated into. That is their trade. Yeah, go ahead and make your roll with thought.
Okay. So that's 16.
16. I believe that will do it for you. Yep, study 16. A success.
Okay. And then I would like to help them craft the new masks also.
Yeah. That's probably part of the deal. You can't learn without getting your hands dirty.
Yep.
Yeah, so they show you how to I think what is it, the red stuff from the Phaedred crater, the scarlet, um what was it called? You had some for a little bit. It's in the list of stuff. It is sanguine porcelains. They often incorporate sanguine porcelains into the mask making process. They show you how to like grind. Nope. Hey, there we go. What is the last thing you heard?
I remember
Red.
you had your hand like this.
The sanguine porcelain, the powder they often incorporate into the masks. So they show you how to grind it and mix it and shape it and glaze it and fire it. And at the end of the week, you have produced a mask for a new mask for one of the new bodies of Black Helmet.
Okay.
I think that'll be the first new mask that they wear when the first body is gently folded in.
Hmm. Now, can I also do something with Alba Negra?
Yeah. She's got a week.
Okay. Um, I'm trying to think. Anything. Alba Negra is going to study um hmm, not sure I want to do that. Alba Negra is going to start studying for the second level of botanist.
Cool. Who is she studying with? Oh, is she going to the Biomancers?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Fantastic. Perfect. With basil, and anise.
And she's probably going to do this, well, yeah, on her own. So,
Yeah.
and,
Does Adoron make introductions?
yeah, I guess Adoron is going to spend time with them, but is busy learning how to craft masks. And then Adoron is going to have to give her some money because she just doesn't have any money. So, Adoron will give her 200. But
Oh, and I
she's
noticed you have Aldenegra on your on Adoron's stuff. If she is her own character, and not a companion friend, um, she doesn't take up a slot, right?
I mean that's fine. I'm not going to complain about that. I thought that
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I think if we're playing her as a full PC, then
Oh,
that
okay.
that's her.
Gotcha. Then I will give myself a slot back. And I will give her some cash so that she can what did I do? 200.
Oh, and she has a 5 charisma, right?
Yeah. Yes, she's really good at certain things.
Cool. She's just gonna make her a thought roll for the training.
Yeah. +1. Nope. It's gonna take her a while.
All right.
Okay, so in that case, I can empty this out.
And that is our week. Um, do folks want to check in on the outposts while you're here?
Not a bad idea.
Um, so Mook the orc has been holding that down for you. I think they are cheerful but harried after kind of like seeing their friend off and covering whatever social fallout happened after the elopement. Um, but I think there's and I think because of some of the stigma around Pookie has rubbed off of him, business has not been great. And of course, Mook's not as charming as Adoron and the other proprietors. But folks are there's still a few folks hanging out. He's gotten better at making tea. And he's very, very happy to see you. It's like, oh, are you coming? Are you back? Are you back for the? Are you staying through the winter again? Oh, what a relief.
I will be back for a while, but I do not know how long. Sadly, we have many things that have become business elsewhere.
Did the butcher catch up with Modan?
You mean the
Uh,
lawyer?
The
no, we heard he was looking for me, but they'd already left. So I
Oh,
never
okay,
actually crossed
yeah.
paths with him.
Yeah, he said this was the first place he looked, and then I told him you were heading west, so I'm surprised you didn't pass him on the road, I guess.
Know what they wanted?
I just said he had an offer.
Yeah. Hmm.
Great. So are you're back, and so I've been keeping the books as well as I can. I don't have a great head for it, but Pookie left me in charge of your bean caravan, and so um in Violet month, that's when they're supposed to come back. Um, so I guess I'm just waiting until that happens. So that's in about a month and a half. If you wanted to stay here and help me run the place, wow, I'd appreciate that so much.
Do you need help with the cat um, business as well, or have they replaced Pookie yet?
Oh, I'm cat. I mean, I'm kind of Pookie. Kind of. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in love, but Pookie just their mind's not on business at all. So I've kind of been um just keep there's not a lot to do while they're out, really. So between this and that, it's not great. The business isn't great. I'm just here to keep track of things when they come in, and
Well,
not great at making
keep
deals.
in mind we are a caravan. I am a traveler.
Yeah,
What I do.
yeah.
However, we want to do whatever it takes to. If you need help, we will get you help.
Sure. Yeah, if I can use help. I mean, I'm happy doing this, but it's just different. It's just different. I'm used to just having a lot more chill time, really. And it just keeps me busy. So it's good to be
May I,
busy, right? I don't want to get in trouble.
may I make a suggestion then?
Yeah, yeah.
I can spend some time running the pavilion, and perhaps Phaedred can teach you how to maintain the books better, and we can spend some time here so that you are not left alone while Pookie makes amorous eyes.
Oh, it's more than eyes. Let me tell you that much. It's I don't want to get into it, but it's more than eyes. Whew. Yeah, so he definitely takes you up on the offer. And you can spend a little time showing him the bits. He's not a quick learner, but he gets it.
Sure. Yeah, I will absolutely teach him the ins and outs of bookkeep, the basics of bookkeeping.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a mess. It's just like piles of receipts in the back room with the bones. Cool, but yeah, very happy to see you. Yeah, that's that. I think that's the week. What are your intentions going forward here? Do you want to spend more time at the Serai? Do you want to do more trading? Do you want to
Well, we've
there's
got
lots
a bunch of we do have a bunch of stuff that we've acquired that I think we should probably try to sell. And then maybe buy a few more trade goods for like points west, but yeah, I think I would like to sell. I would like to sell a fair amount of the stuff. So I had one question. So you said so last session you said that Phaedred had figured out how to make the ghost goods corporeal goods.
Yeah, just by putting blood on them.
Got it. And I guess he'll just do that.
Yeah.
And how much were those actually worth? Because
That's a fantastic question. Let me find out.
We never figured that out.
For nothing, now if they're all bloody.
Oh yeah. Cool. Who is there anyone in particular you want to sell them to, or just someone?
Let me look at our NPC list for the show. Who would be interested in ghost goods at the Serai?
Yeah, and these are kind of like just general trade goods of a certain age. Kind of like if someone nowadays was selling a bunch of like 1920s stuff at a vintage shop. I guess they are more vintage than junk, right?
Okay, it's vintage equipment.
Yeah.
Got it. I don't think is that something the biomancers would be interested. I don't think so.
It sounds like collector stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I guess I would be trying to find. I guess I would try to find a collector. I'm not seeing any NPCs. We've got a.
Yeah, you can definitely find. There's plenty of caravans coming through for the specific purpose of trading.
Got it. So what was the base cost of this stuff?
Yeah, so they are happy to offer you 700 cash per sack.
Wow.
Can I attempt to haggle on that?
If you want to spend more time here.
We were definitely spending time.
Yeah, we're definitely spending some time.
You already spent time doing the first haggle, so this would be an additional week.
This would be an additional week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can say Adoron is going to spend more than 1 week here. Adoron has several things to do.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll do some more haggling.
Yeah, cool. Go ahead and make your haggle roll.
So that's going to be +8 on this roll, and I rolled a 17 on the die.
Ooh. Great. So that's gonna be okay. That is going to be where is it? All right. That's gonna be 2,100 per sack.
But they're going to realize that they paid way too much for this stuff.
I think what's going to happen is once within a 24 hours of it leaving your position, it reverts back to insubstantial.
Ooh, that would suck.
They are quite upset about that. Um,
Is there, so basically, you're basically saying I rolled too well here.
you rolled too well. You got a lot of money, but you've made some enemies. And the table says, better skip town.
Is it possible to
You can use hero dice to bump it down if you want.
Yeah.
I was going to say I could use a hero dice to bump that down.
Yeah, you want
what would I need to get it down to?
A 19 is what you're looking for.
So I have a question. Can somebody else use a hero die to try to solve the problem of the permanence?
I think the nature of the goods is that they appear for 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're valuable in that time, but you better make yourself scarce after that.
But there's so I have a question. So the goods are tangible enough that you can carry them. It's just they're not fully tangible until
Yeah.
blood on them.
Yeah, they're like in ghost sacks that you can grab.
Got it.
Right.
And so you put blood on them, and they're only tangible for like a day,
Yeah.
and then the next sunrise they're insubstantial again.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
So let's see. So I needed to get down to a 19. I'm at 17 plus 8. Ooh, boy, that's a lot of hero dice to try to bring that back
That's
down
okay.
again.
And
no, actually,
bring that roll down would solve that problem, basically.
right.
That's
Right. So I am going to have Adoron and Adoron's going to contribute a hero die and see what they can do. And what Adoron is going to
So you'll only need to bring it down 6, right? That's okay.
I need to bring it down 6 points.
yeah.
Yeah. So what's the method you're going to be trying to use?
Yeah, so what Adoron is going to do is Adoron is actually just going to simply explain that this makes, and I'll go ahead and use 2 hero die. Adoron's going to explain that this actually makes the collection better because the collection is very hard to steal, and the only thing that so when you want to show it off to other collectors, you just put a little blood on it and you can study it directly. And the rest of the time, it's very easy to store and protect.
Let's see those dice.
Yep. Let's see those dice.
And how many sacks do you have worth? 4? Okay.
I have 4.
Okay, so let me drop that. And D6 was rolling at once. Yes.
Nice. Cool. So that brings so they accept that explanation. I think this is a tense situation where like
Adoron will use tea.
Yeah. And I don't think the tea diffuses, but I think you have talked them down. The price also comes down.
Yep.
So it'll be basically 4,200 for the 4 sacks.
Okay, I think we'll take that deal. 4,200 for 4,200 total.
Yeah, and they will not be out to run you out of town or anything, but that caravan, that nameless caravan, which we will never see again, will probably not want to trade with you again.
Well, Adoron also explained that we did not understand. Well, actually, Adoron wouldn't say that because that would ruin their negotiating.
Or your good name is not besmirched.
Yeah.
And so if this is, let's see, so we've got about 10 minutes left. Do folks want to do week stuff, or do you want to save it for?
I would like to do more and more week because I have stuff to do.
I mean, do we want to role play of the week before we break, or do we want to save it for beginning of next session?
I mean, mine's super easy.
What's yours?
Just gonna sleep off my full body hangover.
Get it? Yeah.
Adoron wants to do a training with the biomancers.
Okay.
And if I have a second thing I can do in the week, or was my entire week spent on?
That was your week. Yeah.
That was my week. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna roll a thought roll for biometric training. Get this done real fast. 18 plus 4, 22.
22. 22 will get you 2 successes.
Oh. So with the help of Anise and Basil, I have now got Biomancer level 1.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, cool.
Yep, very handy.
What about Newt?
Well, I mean, I do have like a non weak action that I do ask Adoron if they have any kind of knowledge or way of determining the composition of a soul.
Mm.
If that's something they have knowledge about.
Adoron will say, I have met some variety of souls, but I am still very new at this. Perhaps someone else might know. And Alba Negra will actually come up to you after you talk to Adoron. And Alba Negra will say, I've spent a lot of time fashioning gifts for people who have different souls, and I've spent a lot of time battling with demons. And what did you want to know about souls? There's so many and so colorful and horrible sometimes too.
We wish to know if you can determine a soul's identity, even if the soul has forgotten it itself or hides it.
If we take a sample of the soul, it is possible that we can use that sample to study and learn more about the soul. I have the ability to take small samples of souls if you would wish to allow this.
We sigh and then nod.
Okay. So Alba Negra is going to take her acrylic reliquary
Mm-hmm.
and try and sample the extra soul. Because I'm assuming you're talking about the extra soul inside of Newt.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Mm.
which one is the extra soul? Newt isn't quite sure.
um, tell me what that looks like when you do that.
So the first thing is that Alba Negra is going to work up a custom potion
Mm-hmm.
to put Newt into a receptive state.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you want, I can, and she would have to get access to gear and stuff, but I can roll a botanist roll. And then after that, she's going to try to, while Newt is in this altered state, she is going to use her reliquary to try and capture a spark of the. It may be difficult to separate the two souls, so
Mm-hmm.
she may end up getting sort of a conjoined spark.
Yeah. I think she can do that. Okay. I think I'm gonna ask for an aura save from Newt.
Okay.
That's a D20 plus your aura, and just looking for a 13.
Okay, that's a 7.
Mm.
I have some hero dice though, so let me spend 1 and I'll see if I want to spend a second. Okay, so that's gonna be 9.
Cool.
And you said it needs to be 13?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll spend the second. Let's see if it works out. Nope.
Okay.
No.
Okay, Albanegger will spend a hero dice also.
Awesome. Great.
And she sees that Newt is struggling, and she takes some ampules of
Oh,
spell.
unless I forgot, I am on drugs and I am a narco generalist.
Ooh.
Does that apply here?
Yeah, let's go ahead and apply that. I love that. That's great.
Okay. So that brings me up to a 13 then.
Fantastic. I think that's a 14. Yeah. Is it 13? Yeah. Anyway, it works.
I was at 11 and I thought skill gives you +2.
3.
Oh, +3. So okay, 14 then.
Yeah. Great. So what are you attempting to get out of this?
So she's just so she's trying to separate the two spirits in there with the drugs to see if she can just capture one of them.
Mhm.
She's assuming that one of them is a basic human and that the other is not. So she's attempted to use her I mean, if you looked at the text file I sent, Albanegra is like really focused on affecting people's consciousness and stuff.
Yeah.
So she's trying to see if she can separate the two consciousnesses out. And if she can't, she's still going to get a spark. It's just spark will be of both.
Yeah, I think so. Can you tell me more about the personality jewel situation you have there?
So it's
I mean, from a Newt there.
Oh, from Newt.
It is implanted into my forehead. I know there's technically something in the rule book that's called a scion, but I'm also
whatever.
fine with this being considering we just talked about how it's possible for someone to be an ultra without knowing they're an ultra. Newt's concern is that this is somehow a technology, that their body is somehow a technology for containing and trapping ultras.
Ooh.
And that that is why I am bound up with a dying sentience.
Fantastic.
They're dying because they're in me.
Right. So the separation and identification works. I think it's up to the two of you to think about what that means. And we're up against time, so let's leave that cliffhanger for next time.
Okay.
How about that? Cliffhanger. Cool. Camera cuts to the faces of you looking at the results.
Yeah.
Awesome. And that was a week at the Serai. So we are in Unity 1. Summer is over. Cool. Let's do some stars and wishes. Let's go. Oh, we've got 2 slots. Let's go left to right from in the character keeper then. Starting with someone who is.
I guess that would be me.
Try to get to the right.
Stars all around. I thought this was an interesting. I thought this was an interesting adventure because we were very goal focused on this one. We were really trying very hard to just get to the Last Serai, and just conduct our business. I really enjoyed that scene dealing with the prince while we were basically selling off those Ka zombies. I thought that was I just thought that was interesting. I think we learned a bit more about what the situation is going on here. I think we learned a little bit more about the setting. I think that was cool. Gonna give a star to Teal for splitting your time between these two PCs. So I'm guessing mechanically that just means that when you get an XP award, you're gonna need to like split that award somehow between those two characters.
Yep.
Which is cool. Yeah. And I liked our little. I like the scene with the rabbit pig people. That was just kind of fun. Like weird. How we tried to like, and how Modan tried to like figure out the whole like, well, if we do yeah, if we do a little like splicing here, so maybe we've got like puffball beans. Sure, why not? Um, and just the whole, and also Stephen, just the whole like incorporating the ultra plot
Mhm.
into the personality dyad that your character has. That was really cool. I'm really looking forward to see how that develops. And
Sorry, go
and
ahead.
as for wishes, yeah, I'm just, I mean, I wouldn't mind taking a little bit more time in the Serai, but I would ultimately like to get back on the road.
Cool. Thank you. Heath.
Yeah, stars to everyone as usual. It was a fun time. I love watching everybody. It was. I'm fighting off a cold, so I've been just exhausted. So it's nice to be, and I felt like everybody. When you got a good group, it's like I still try to contribute, but I'm also like, that's cool. I'll let other people do more stuff because I like watching and I'm tired. But it was still fun. Yeah, a lot of stuff still seemed to happen, and I think Mike's right now. I think we all generally have the curiosity gene, but we were good about like not getting derailed this time. Like, no, we gotta get back. We got a bunch of zombies and supplies. Let's get to the Sora. I also totally agree that like do what we gotta do, but like yeah, I want to get back to our dungeon and find the secret level and all that. So I don't want to like. Hopefully we'll be able to do that next session. I don't want to take too long because it's so easy to get sidetracked in this game constantly by 1 billion things. Also just random star to teal because I felt like I know in the past I've always I've been talking about like I was trying to find what to do with Modan, how to do things like what skills should I take, blah blah, and I don't know why this just occurred to me, but like I feel like Teal in particular, I feel like you're real good at like making shit up for lack of a better term, or being like, okay, well I'm gonna like do this thing and I'm gonna make things that do this. What roles do I need to make that happen? And so you're good at like thinking outside the box and just being like, here's a story effect thing I want to happen. How can we do that?
Mhm.
And so I've started thinking more in those directions instead of just being like, what's a mechanic I can use? It's more like, okay, well, what do I want to accomplish? Oh, well, if I want to breed, beans with puff mushrooms, but I got to roll to make that, and then I can have a new kind of bean that maybe will do something, So more thinking, destination based, and then figuring out what the journey to that destination is, as opposed to what's a mechanic I can use. And yeah, wishes just explore all the things. I'm also, very glad, at least with my secret handshake, at least something came out of that horrendous carousing session. At least I didn't come away completely empty-handed. I'm
Yep.
like, well, I got to want something out of it.
You could have lost your hand. Yeah.
But still, it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that's it for me.
Awesome. Next up is Teal.
So, stars to Stephen for the way I agree with Mike. You brought the whole ultra thing in a very interesting way. And I will also echo I like the rabbit pigs. I am trying to get a sense of this new character. One thing that occurs to me, Heath, is that I wonder if Modan seems to be really, really in the social space. And now you have secret handshake, and you are actually a spy for the Porcelain Princes. And so if you're interested in it, instead of you having to learn bean biomancy, I can have Alba Negra folk like learn more bean biomancy and provide you with the beans that you need. And then we can work if so instead of you having to train the skill up, because you've got all these other skills you're doing that are more social and whatever. And so if you are interested in that, um, we can work up some new bean ideas, but let Alba Negra actually do the science part for you.
Yeah, totally. I mean, especially since even if I wanted to learn it, like we said, I'd have to restart from the beginning anyway.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
not like I have any
Now the
progress
bean
there
front
already.
man.
Thing.
Well, and you have so many interesting social skills. This new secret handshake thing is going to get us more into politics, which I'm keen to do. So we can talk about that some more. As far as wishes go, I am going to run counter to the rest of the group because Adoron has some things to do here at the Last Serai. Maybe not too much more, but I just need to go over my list. I'm going to need to. I think Adoron needs to add a little bit of technology to their teacup. So this is a question for you, Mark.
Mhm.
I've been trying to figure out that there are two different conceptions in my mind about the noosphere. And I think they both exist, and I think they technically overlap in terms of the game. But one conception is the noosphere is the technical web of cyber reality. And then the other side of it is the noosphere is the more magical astral multiplanar thing. And my guess is the two overlap.
It's nebulous, but somewhere in between. Yeah.
Yeah, because of the nature of the grasslands. And so my thought was I would like to add um, like basically a net node to the teacup, which strangely calls to mind tea timers in old Linux, but not really related. But anyway, so I'm going to want to purchase something that allows me to make the teacup into a node. And then, so I'm not trying to go one direction. I'm trying to sort of fuse both of them into the ultimate sort of tea ceremony space, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to solve that. There was something. There's some idea I had about the gauntlet for Phaedred, but I don't remember what it was. Anyway, so that's it for me.
Cool. And Stephen.
Yeah, like people said, I did enjoy just having an encounter with some rabbit pigs. I guess Newt's concern the thing that Newt was thinking about was like they're local people that that nobody saw coming the other way. So like are they did somebody come around along and just like make some rabbit pigs and leave them here? And that's like the origin of their civilization. What but like in the past few months. Uh uh I did enjoy getting that whole scene with Alba and yeah, I guess I also like Adoron have like a weird wish that goes against like some of the plans. Like, why don't we just head east again? Why don't we head northeast to where all the ultras live? And then maybe I can get some more information from them. Unless the ultras are the ones that want me dead, then like let's head west, sure. I guess now like it's becoming more because like I part of my thought was that like as weird as Newt is socially, part of why they're so good at throwing parties and taking drugs is because they're bound up with this like dying cosmic entity that is like, fuck it, dying, might as well go out with a bang. Uh and now I feel like there's some mystery now. I'm not we're not sure certain what's going on there, and we want to try to figure that out.
Yeah.
If we are the person in this wanted post in this like bounty, uh why is there a $2,000 price on us?
Right. What did you do? Awesome. Cool. Yeah, good time. I had a good time with this. Very, yeah, very good. Like blew through 5 weeks. Pretty quick. That was great. XP all around. Should be five. What did I say?
You said
You
610
hit
in the chat.
Here 610, yeah.
610 XP each. Distribute as you like. Also,
So if we
before
all want to gain advances real quick, just buy a bunch of supplies, just travel.
Yeah.
Just
Boom,
travel,
let's go. Yeah. I mean,
One question: if we wanted to sell stuff without actually haggling, we can just sell it.
yeah, just base price.
Got it.
Yep.
So I was thinking of just selling off because we got 6 sets of old tech bubble helmets that were 500 each. I don't remember where we picked those up, so
Yeah.
I think let's just sell those for the $3,000, and then if it's okay, let's just sell off the other stuff, which I think we found anyway. So it's all that's all just gain. So if it's okay, I'll just calculate that, and like basically that's going to sell off all of our trade goods,
Sure.
and we'll start fresh next week and figure out what we want to load up with for our return.
And I guess if there's like an auto car for sale, that's something you could actually use that spell for.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. I would actually like to learn that spell rather than just have it be in a book.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
So.
And since you spent a couple weeks at the Serai, don't forget to mark supplies and or pay rent for a room there.
Yeah, I was figuring we'll just I was figuring for like just hanging out at the Serai, we can just like pay rent for ourselves for however high on the hog we want to live.
Yeah. Cool. I'll do that, man.
And I did pay our staff.
Okay, great. Everyone.
How many weeks of living expenses should we calculate?
2 weeks at the Serai, so it's $4 for the cheapest room. More if you want to be fancy.
Yeah,
Well, also remember we own territory at this Serai.
Oh, that's right. You know what? Yeah, you can just crash at the outpost.
Well, that's right.
It'll be tight.
That's right.
Yeah.
Forget all
Okay.
that thing. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right. We got rooms there.
Yeah.
Postally eat, but we'll hand wave the eating. It'll be fine there. Bonus for partying. Great. Looking forward to I have no idea what's going to happen next. So yeah, we'll find out what it is.
Yeah. I will conceivably have at least one character who's leveled up because I might level up Alba.
And I leveled up my I leveled up my Black City Interface Gauntlet, so it now has 2 skills.
Oh, yeah.
Which I have defined as Magitech Systems and Scan the Noosphere.
Amazing. I love it.
Yeah. So soon you should be able to pick up Adoron's teacup.
Yeah. And I guess the other thing I want to ask is is purchasing is that a whole week activity, or if you're just buying it for the base price?
Yeah, buying at the base price is just a thing.
It's a thing. Haggling is haggling involves going back and forth over several rounds and dealing with their agents and all that kind of fun stuff. So that right. takes time.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the same time, I was able to double what we sold it for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the haggling is great for high dollar items.
Yeah. Cool. If there is nothing else, I'll stop our recording here. Goodbye to anyone watching. See you next time.